Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. I hope you are having a lovely day today. We are here in the Dzagonur? Dzagonur Bastion. Yeah, let's go with that. That's close enough, right? There's something really quickly I wanted to talk about, just before we get into the episode real quick. I'm wondering if my videos are popping up in your recommended. For a couple of you that do watch and do comment, thank you. But I was wondering if it was popping up in your recommended, because I've noticed over like the past 2 weeks that videos have just kind of been like declining and not at like a normal pace. They just kind of go from like cut in half. So I was wondering if maybe it's a visibility thing. Also, slightly more exciting, I do have a longer form video I'm currently working on right now. It's MMO related, but not necessarily about Guild Wars 1 only. So if you have any interest in that kind of stuff, that'll be posted relatively shortly. Also relatively shortly, I'm going to be doing streams over on Twitch where I'm going to be attempting to teach myself to learn how to draw, since I can only draw stick figures. And I'm actually kind of interested in learning how to do art, so I'm going to see if I can get streams of that going, and that should be a fun adventure if anyone is interested. I'll get a more set schedule for that up at some point. But anyway, let's back to what we were working on. Let's read the outpost description. The gateway to the mighty citadel of Dzagonur. The Bastion is a hub of activity for mercenaries, recruiters, and merchants of arms and armor. Locals are more than willing to sell you any manner of implements for wounding, killing, and maiming. Those the armor to deflect another adventurer's purchases. Let's have a little walk around here. This is actually a really big outpost. This is one of the larger outposts in the game. There's some cool waterfalls there. There's a couple outposts that really hit you with the, man, I wish we could go inside in this game. That's definitely something in Guild Wars 2 that they do. I don't even think they're doing enough in Guild Wars 2 that I kind of wish they would do more often. I kind of wish we'd go inside more often. But yeah. We've got like this little like house here. The Mirror of Bliss. That's where we came in. This would be like where we came in. We would have come in up from down there, and then walked back here. Looks like there's another section behind this wall. Do you see that? Weird. Don't think we can get there though. I just want to take a quick walk out into the explorable area here and see if there's any cool things we can see just outside. This is one of the few explorable areas that probably very few people have ever come to, unless you've done like complete mapping and stuff of the game. As there's no reason to ever really come here in the story, or there's not a lot of side quests to take you here as well. But we can see a little bit more of the Bastion. Pretty cool. You can walk around a lot of this place, actually. It's pretty massive. And out there's the wilderness. Pretty snifty. Alright, let's go into the mission. Ahai, we protect Vabbi from the Hecate. It's good pay and honest work. We serve Prince Ahmtur, whose wealth funds the citadel's defense as a noble gesture that the other princes take for granted. Our scouts have reported enemy forces on the move. The assault of the Dzagonur citadel is imminent. Are you ready to fight with us? We are ready. Defeat the Morganite generals before the forces take the citadel. So let's talk to Prince Ahmtur the Mighty. When you're ready, this porter here will take you here to the front lines. Now let's go down, push those Kournans and demons. Let them feel the wrath of our siege weapons. They shall not take Vabbi while we are standing. So you get some Order of Whispers people here that you can control. This is a very interesting mission. The trick with these guys is to send all of them to the same place and then just defend the other two. Because the 3 sets of them should be perfectly able to defeat one and defend the rest of them. So this mission is actually really interesting. So you have these bombardments here that we defend as Morganites attack. But then also, if you fail, there's actually different points that they can break through these gates here that you fall back to and then defend finally back there at the citadel. However, despite that being a thing, I don't think I've ever gotten to that point. Like, normally whenever you die in this mission, it's just because you actually wipe to the enemies. You're not normally getting pushed back. And that's one of the things that I think that maybe would have worked better if there was a rezzing mechanic inside of missions. I get why there isn't. It'd be weird to have this mission be unique in that aspect, but it's one of those things that's like, maybe it would be a bit cooler if it did have a res mechanic. So it's like, if you did wipe here, you would then actually have to, you know, be pushed back and do the other side. I'm gonna let those Order Whispers guys handle that. It should be alright. As we see, there's more and more what's the word I'm looking for? More and more Morganites mixed in with the Kournans, where before it was like very rare to see them. Now they're very much more mixed in. There's one in each group, and eventually possibly even more. These things are really cool. It's definitely a little bit of a waste that there is this whole mechanic here of you can lose these bombards here and then get pushed back to the gates and then get pushed back to the citadel even. And it feels like it was supposed to be sort of a very hard fought long fight, but due to the way the game is kind of designed, the battle is far from over. The generals can bring down hordes of reinforcements upon us, channel through those rifts. Quickly strike those generals. The rifts will collapse without their aid. So this is the second half of the mission mechanic, which is just basically killing off these leaders. The trick, though, is to get the main guys down first. And essentially break aggro of the group. This mission also kind of suffers from the Guild Wars pacing problem, which is that, and by Guild Wars pacing problem, this is a totally uncoined term that I've just kind of realized slowly while playing through all these games, that you have a lot of missions that get a lot easier as you keep going through, which I'm not sure is actually the way you would want things to be, like, balanced. It seems like it'd be better to have stuff like ramp up in difficulty, but like here, for example, as we close the different rifts by killing off these generals who are attacking, it stops reinforcements from coming through. So now we need to worry about less sides to defend, which is definitely nice, and it is nice to be rewarded for, you know, doing the mission objectives, but it kind of also feels like it means that the hardest one to kill is the first one, and once the first one is done, it's kind of a guarantee from there, as long as you don't, like, do something really silly and wipe. Try to block off as much of it as I can. One thing that is nice is that since these commanders are a little bit farther out, you don't have the assistance of the cannons to help you fight them, which definitely makes them feel a little bit more of a challenge, instead of being able to just essentially use the cannons to damage through the pack. It looks like most of the Order Whispers people we sent over here are donezo. There's a couple left, but it looks like the one group didn't actually properly aggro. It's a cool palace in the background. It's a really cool looking mission. This is the scariest boss here. This, yeah, see how much damage they just took there from that lightning spell he had? I don't know why my spears are not attacking the target, but there we go. Bada bing, bada boom.
We have them on the run. It'll be months before they can muster a credible threat.
Perhaps now you can help us against Varish, Prince.
If Arish has been conspiring with demons, she is my enemy. She will pay.
I like this guy.
See what I mean? Straight up kind of guy. No secrets at all.
Jura.
Pardon?
Jura. He asked my real name. It is Jura. I feel I can trust you with it.
Jura. Nice name.
See? Was that so hard?
What the?
Oh no.
What is that?
It is a demonic manifestation. A part of Abaddon's realm pushing into the living world.
What does that mean?
It means we are too late. Nightfall has come to Alona.
Dun dun dun! 6 of 6 defenses left intact. Haha. Well, we did it. So, if you're wondering what that whole thing about the Master of Whispers giving us his name is kind of about, so if you remember back to the Margaret episode, or not the Margaret, excuse me, the Hidden City episode, you remember that at the end Margaret says something about freedom being worth more than money, and then there's that joke about how as a corsair that don't let anybody know, you know, because their thing's all about getting that moolah. But it's supposed to be some character development for her, basically to show that she is, you know, more than about the money. She's like actually kind of still wants to do the right thing, or values individualism and freedom over just wealth, despite being a corsair. And the Master of Whispers giving us his name is like, it's like a cool kind of nod to some character, I don't want to say kind of character growth for him, but it doesn't really hit the same like impact, you know. But that's why that happened. Also, I like how they seem to only be able to have a model that has the claws pointing one direction. I don't know if you noticed that, but whenever they pop up at the cutscene, they all point the same direction. Like, they all bend the same direction. I wonder if that's because they don't have the ability to rotate the model whenever they spawn it or something, because that'd be pretty funny. But yeah, that is going to be the end of that mission. Nightfall has fallen to Alona. We now have seen both sides, and there's now, I believe, that was the main choice in the game. That was the lead on from either picking Master of Whispers or Margaret way back in the beginning. There's a choice now for a side mission, which we will be doing in the next episode. I don't know if I'll be doing both sides of the side mission in the next episode, or if I'll be doing one per episode. I don't exactly remember how long each side quest is. So it'll either be one long episode or two shorter episodes. And then we have one more splitting path in the story, where a decision has us going one way or another. So, yeah, kind of interesting that they decided to do that in this game. Again, I think I mentioned this in other episodes, so it's probably due to kind of the well reception to splitting off in factions and going two different ways, but it feels a little bit weirder in this game because you're a single party going through. I guess the idea is that just like in factions where the kind of idea is that whatever side you do not go to is the side the Prophecies crew goes through with the hero from Prophecies. And I guess in this game it's like the Alolan native and the heroes probably go through with like saving Cormier and stuff like that, and then Divana, Aiden, Sin, that crew, plus either the factions hero or sorry, the factions protagonist or the Prophecies protagonist goes through with the Master of Whispers and the Dzagonur Bastion that we just did plot. But anyway, that's enough for today. I want to thank you all for coming out. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. You didn't see me mess up that. Bye-bye.